Ladies, gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up their mind. Let's go!
It's the one and only Grammys, with performances by Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish, Cardi B, Harry Styles, Maren Morris, Megan Thee Stallion, Miranda Lambert, Post Malone, and Taylor Swift. Trevor Noah hosts The Grammys, live Sunday 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, or stream anytime on CBS.
Nipsey Hussle, his legacy, what does his legacy mean to you?
Nipsey leaves a legacy of gangsterism, business, education, mentorship, and future. Just because he touched on everything that I spoke of, and he knew it. Like, we didn't know it. Wasn't nobody really knowing how deep Cuz was while he was here. We was rolling with him, so we was enjoying the experience. So when you fully get to enjoy the experience, then you understand. Because all while we was listening, we was making our own music and we was doing other shit. So we couldn't listen like we listened to it when he passed away. We listened to it with a understanding, because we ain't gonna hear him again. So now you understanding, he knew what he was saying. Because he could have said anything. Why would he say that? Why would he write that? He knew, like we all know. When I write what I write, I wrote murder was the case before it happened. I didn't want no murder case to happen, but I knew that death was around me. So I had to write it to where I could survive. It's the only way I could write it. Everybody else was writing their death. Listen to my peers in 92 and 93. They all write about their death. Snoop Dogg, the only one that didn't die. Because he had a relationship with God. I prayed to God in that song, despite making a deal with the devil, but I prayed to God. That's game.
Explain your relationship with Nipsey. Obviously, you know, he was someone I looked up to, admired, got to befriend and come close to. You know, to us, he's a legend. He's on the wall. Tell us what your relationship like with Nipsey.
I got to know him the year before he passed, and he came on my 5 Minutes from Home show. Took time out of his day, came up to the Bay. You know, we hopped in the back of the Sprinter, and like part of that filming, it usually only takes like an hour to get, you know, the footage and you have a good conversation, all that. Like I feel like I was talking to him for way longer than that, just because of how real he was and his perspective on life, and like the way he talked about his daughter and raising her, and his relationship with Lauren. Like all that type of stuff was just real. And obviously his music, you know, it stands for itself. But when you have God in the spotlight that, you know, has a story and has a journey and is able to turn that into inspiration, you know, beyond probably anything he imagined, but the way that he carries himself speaks about more than anything that he does. And the work that he does in the community and all that type of stuff, that, you know, his legacy is gonna live on forever. But it's just like it shook me because I literally just met him, and you know, you appreciate people like that have an impact on you.
But I'm sure it was somewhere you felt like you knew him forever, because that's how open, real, and raw he is.
It's exactly, I watched that episode, I've watched it probably 5 or 6 times since we did it, because there's so many gems in there from him in terms of just, all the time. And the way that he speaks, he's approachable. Like he takes you on a journey too. Like you can tell, like it's authentic, and that part of it is special. So, you know, to his family and all that, you know, I know everybody has the back, and the legacy he leaves, we all have to carry it, right?
Yep.
In our own, you know, special, unique way. So
with honor.
TMC, rest 100%. In peace, Nip.
I love Nip. That legacy, that's what you call a stolen legacy, man.
So fast. See, I got to listen. My brother always puts me on the music, so when I was coming to LA in 2009, 10, he's like, you gotta listen to Nip. Like, you don't fuck with him. So I started listening to his shit and instantly fell in love, and then I came to the Lakers the next season, so I hit dude on a DM and he hit me right back. I was like, yo, new to the Lakers, you know, went to UCLA, came to a game and just hit it off with him.
I mean, it's
genuine, down to earth, and then I've seen him evolve from when he was riding around to little shows, and I'd be following him to shows, and we'd be upstairs. I'd be with a bunch of 60s upstairs on the Lakers smoking weed, like, what's that? snap, Barnes from the Lakers back there smoking with, you know what I mean? So to be able to see his elevation from when I learned on him in 09 to what he left us with, like you said, that was a star shot down early.
I'm saying with my homegirl Debbie Brown. She was doing radio in LA on K-Day. So when I used to go out there, she used to put me on all the new rappers. So it was Kendrick, it was Nipsey, it was Glasses Malone, Bishop Lamont. And I remember hearing that Bullets Ain't Got No Name. I was like, God,
cold, right?
Damn.
But his evolution too, the content in which he rapped it, and he rapped about his evolvement too, and his evolution. That shit was.
You heard it through every project.
Man.
Crenshaw, Mailbox Money, up until Victory Lap. And that was
to think about. That was his first album though.
Yes.
Victory Lap was his first. I mean, he obviously has. If you know his history, he's got his history. But that was just that was number one.
And it was called Victory Lap. Like think about that. Your first debut album on a major label, which ends up being your last album, is called Victory Lap. Like it's almost like some foreshadowing. Like,
some Pac shit.
Like man, yo, and he said that. He said he Tupac his generation.